Dawn, obviously Kiki and Taya were two of the big ones that came up with some of the big plays today. Just what do you see from those two as they continue to go through this, make big plays down the stretch?
I mean, I think they're getting more comfortable in their skin. You know, Taya's always been one that's very confident. You know, I think she's a really, really aggressive defender and competitor. Whereas Kiki, I think Kiki is steadily gaining more confidence in herself and seeing it. You know, I think Kiki is very visual and a tangible being. So when she sees 18-9, you know, after having a double-double against Texas A&M, I think it allows her to continue to grow and be confident out there on the floor, and it's working for us.
We talked about that conversation you had with Taya to kind of change her mindset about scoring and, you know, distributing. Did you have any kind of conversation like that with Kiki to help her development? I mean,
my conversations with Kiki are ongoing. I mean, I just use the bench as a motivator. If she's not doing what she needs to do, she's got to come out of the game, and I think she understands that. I think furthermore, she's got to prep better. I mean, the last week she's prepped a lot differently than our Furman game, and you see it. You know, you see it in the statistics. You see it in her, you know, growing confidence. So hopefully it'll stick and it'll connect with other weeks.
Coach, can you talk about your team defense, especially in the last 2 minutes? You guys combined for 10 blocks. Kiki had 5 of them, and of course Taya with the clutch 3 steals to seal the game there.
You know, I think you mentioned Kiki and you mentioned Taya, you know, but the other 3 players set them up to be successful in that they guarded, they pressured, and I just told them that in the locker room. Yes, they'll probably get the headlines, but certainly everybody else did their job to set them up to be successful. But you know, I'm proud of Kiki. I'm proud that it's finally kicking in that she is this type of player. This is what we saw 3 years ago. Finally, we're getting to see it on a more consistent basis. And, you know, Taya's always consistent. I thought Taya went back to putting that ball over her head, just looking inside, and I just told her she just needs to attack and be aggressive. And, you know, in the second half, she was that. In the fourth quarter, she was that.
Dawn, I believe Taya took a seat for about the 8 minutes spanning the third and fourth. Was that because she wasn't doing the things you wanted her to do? Was it time to rest, or just what was the thinking there?
Yeah, I mean, when we're in a stretch like we are, you know, it's probably the players that are in there that I'm trying to give them opportunities to gel a little bit. And it wasn't anything. When I took her out of the game, I said it's not anything that I just need to get a combination down there. And usually when we get a combination, it is probably for a good bit of time down the stretch when we actually need to. So it was nothing.
Coach, speaking of those opportunities, a few of the players stepping up today, how are the roles now starting to be cemented for the team a week into SEC play as you look forward to the rest of SEC play?
Well, I mean, roles are fluid every single week. I know what I want them to do, you know, but whether or not they're able to fulfill that role, you know, is a crapshoot at times. But we certainly have the bodies to substitute and get it right. So hopefully, I hope we can get a cemented lineup in and substitution pattern, but we haven't gotten there yet. So that doesn't make me think it's going to happen anytime soon.
Dawn, what do you want this team's offensive identity to be? Do you want it to run through one player, or is it just kind of everybody can contribute what they can?
I want our offense to be do what you do best and keep it simple. And it's real simple. Do we have plays where we run certain things for people? Absolutely. Whoever has the hot hand, we're going to try to give it to them. Kiki had the hot hand, so she's got a lot of touches. You know, I think the guards are, you know, I think the posts are at mercy of our guards, being able to see them in the post and also attack the rim and then hit outside shots. So That's fluid too, because each player gives us something different that we try to put them in positions where they're best for them.
Coach, what was Alabama doing in that stretch after the timeout early in the third quarter, and they went on a big run to get themselves back in the game?
They turned us over a few times. I think we were just forcing things. We weren't keeping the game simple. We just tried to squeeze passes in where they shouldn't have gone. We had less ball movement, so we got stagnant, and they took advantage of it.
Coach, outside of the game, there was a special guest sitting a few rows behind you there. What was it giving Mac that honor of having him sit behind the bench? You had a really great post to him on social media, I know, too. What has he meant to this program, and how cool was it to give him some shine over the last few days?
Well, let me say this, I'm going to kind of take a jab at our authorities, our powers that be, that would allow Mac to retire. We're going to feel it. Women's basketball is going to feel it. Men's basketball is going to feel it. Volleyball is going to feel it. And it's not to say whoever takes over for Mac is not going to do a great job. But when you know the ins and out of each program, and not just the program, specifically, he knows players and how they like things. And, one of our people, one of our staff members forgot our scouting reports when we were at the SEC tournament. Made one call, Mac, got it the next day. It is those little things that, Mac has ingrained in all of us that have been in contact with him. So it was great to see him. He looked less stressed, I will say that. But I think he's always going to be a phone call away for us.